welcome to Turn the Page, a Bible study and Bible journaling channel. I'm Laura Muse. For the last episode, we talked about the woman with the flow of blood who had been healed by Jesus, and about how relevant the story is because of our current rules concerning social distancing and quarantine and cleanliness and so forth. So this really does... I wanted to go a little more deeply into this to explain what this thing called unclean was in the Bible. They were very serious about this. Again, you didn't have vaccines, you didn't have any disinfectant, no antivirals, no antibiotics. So if you were sick, you were unclean and you had to separate yourself. If you want to look at the rules concerning the type of unclean that this woman was, basically because of her flow of blood for 12 years, you can look in Leviticus chapter 15, verses 19 through 31, and it goes into it in detail. I'm going to skim a little bit through this now. Basically, if she had any discharge, this went for men too, by the way. Normal discharge would be like, the week. You had to separate yourself. Anything you touch or whoever touches you is now unclean. They have to purify themselves. But if it went longer than a normal week, then the rules got really crazy, because you had to continue separating yourself until this got better. And basically anything the woman with the flow of blood sat on or touched is now unclean. If somebody sits on it, touches anything she's been touching, they have to go purify themselves, and it's sometimes to the end of the day until they're allowed to rejoin society and stuff on their own. So people would start avoiding her. And so that's what I just said. If you touch her or her stuff, you had to go through this whole purification ritual. And, at first people were probably or could have been pretty supportive of her, but you'd get tired of constantly being in a room with her and brushing up against her and having to go fix yourself up so that you could go to synagogue the next day. It just doesn't work. So basically she is completely isolated for 12 years. That means no worshiping at synagogue. That was a big no-no. She could not do that. She could not go shopping at the market. And friends, forget it. Like I just said, if they touched her or something she sat on or touched, they're unclean and they're separated from everybody else. So eventually they'd start avoiding her. Now, the text also says in Mark that she went to the doctors. The doctors were really interesting at this time. I got this from sources outside of the Bible. Basically, this was a treatment for this type of thing. Are you ready for this? She had to hold a glass of juice or wine, and a doctor, there he is right there, would literally sneak up behind her and yell, "Be healed." And that was supposed to heal her. And she actually paid people to do this, apparently more than once, and she got worse. Gee, I wonder why. So when she actually went to Jesus, and she knew that he could actually heal people, and she snuck up on him in the crowd and reached out and touched the hem of his garment. This was really a last-ditch effort to rejoin society. And he didn't just make her feel better when he healed her. He gave her life back. And that's kind of a euphemism for, or not euphemism, I don't know what the word is. It teaches us what sin is and how horrible that is, and what Jesus does to give us our life back when we're stuck in sin. I hope this helps, and I hope to see you guys soon. Take care.